G'day everybody, Duckville here. I've got a replay once again from the Korean ladder, which has been a common theme lately. Haven't had too many Aussie replays coming through, unfortunately, and I haven't been able to find any that seemed any good at all. But this is actually featuring two Korean players here, and I have seen here that we've actually got FantaPrime, which is actually, I'm pretty much... This is, I think it's like 99% sure that this is actually Julyzerg, the famous winner of, I think he won a couple of tournaments way back in Brood War back in the day, and he has obviously switched over here to SC2 with the name FantaPrime. So we're going to have a bit of a famous player there, and the other player on the opposite side of Blistering Sands is RenieHouR, the Protoss here, who is actually going to be doing a forward, I would say this is going to be a forge fast expand. Generally this is something that Protoss do like to do on Blistering Sands against Zerg, because it's just a nice sort of safe build once you put it through. Yeah, he's going to grab the forge. He's going to have some space here for some cannons, and then yeah, he's just generally probably going to proceed like that. So hopefully we can actually see some really fun play here from Julyzerg. Obviously, as I said, one of the famous Korean Brood War players from back in the day. Grabbing his gas pretty early there. Looks like he's probably going to grab speed, Zerg speed pretty quickly. And as I said, RenieHouR just warping in his forge just at the moment. So nothing cheesy at all going on from either of these players, it would seem. And we have, oi, I take that back. Look at this guy. He's gonna. It's something it's in a way it's something that does happen from time to time, but it's not exactly common. We've got this is a really tough little thing that Protoss can do to actually sort of wall in the Zerg player before they can actually get out to expand to their natural. And as we can see, this drone here is just going to get blocked, and he's going to just be wondering what the hell is going on there because he can't get out. Now, obviously the other advantage is here, you can chuck down one cannon. You really don't want to put down too much more than one cannon, because realistically it's just to hold off the Zerg expansion while the Protoss does his own fast expansion. So yeah, this is something which does happen from time to time, and as we can see, RenieHouR is actually going to grab his gateway here and just fully wall off his main, because as you can see, once that wall goes down there, nothing gets through, and essentially you turn the front door into a back door, and then this here, the destructible rocks, actually becomes the front door for the Protoss base once he knocks it down. Now, as you can see, we got a bit of a standoff here with these Zerglings sitting up here. Now, the Zerglings probably can eventually get through the pylon and obviously take down the cannon, but you know, with this sort of force, and given the fact that there's really little surface area for the Zerglings to get onto the pylon, it would take a while. So you'd expect at least half of these Lings would probably go down in the fight. And as we can see, FantaPrime has grabbed a Baneling nest, and he's just going to grab a few Banelings just to knock the pylons down. It's another great feature of this this type of expand is to actually you've sort of forced the Zerg player to get into a position with Banelings, and as we can see there, he's just going to bust out there, and he does have some Speedlings on the way just towards the Protoss base. Now, RenieHouR has got +1 weapons already on the way. Now, we've got, once again, there's really not too much surface area on this, but as you can see, there's going to be enough there for all of these Lings to get in and try and have a go at these buildings here. Now, interesting to see, is RenieHouR actually going to cancel this, because the forge is obviously going to go down before the weapons finishes. You'd really want to cancel that so you don't actually lose the money off that. And he doesn't. I don't think he cancelled it there, but he has he's built a secondary wall with 2 gateways, and there is a cannon, 2 cannons on the way. So I believe this is interesting. What is going to happen here? Actually cancels the one of the cannons. The second cannon is going to get up in a second here, but the cannon is going to be a half health, and it is going to die pretty much straight away. These Lings are going to do a lot of damage here unless RenieHouR can get something working here for him, because he is going to be in big trouble. He's got 4 gateways coming up in the back of his base. Now, he's obviously lost a lot of minerals in the fact that he's lost essentially three gateways here, and also the forge, and obviously the cannons that were there as well. But as we can see, he's got a cannon in the mineral line here, got a couple of pylons warping in just to provide some safety in the pylon field. Now, this is a fantastic play by FantaPrime to actually get in here and just cause some harass. Now, as you can see, he's trying to stay off the edge of the range of the cannon there so that he can do as much damage as he can. But you know, there's still a lot of Zerglings here, and whilst this is happening, FantaPrime has expanded down here, obviously quite safely, considering that he is in the enemy base doing a lot of damage. Now, he's also grabbing a lair. We'll probably see the lair come up shortly, and we might even see some Mutalisks, I would suspect, given that this is Julyzerg that we're seeing here. RenieHouR has got warp gates up, and now he does have a whole bunch of Zealots that have come out here to try and defend the base. Now, as we can see, the Zerglings are just going to run around and actually provide a lot of map vision and control for the Zerg player. And in the meantime, what RenieHouR is going to do, he's actually sort of Zealot walled up this this side of the little choke point here to the natural, and he's just going to try and grab this natural expansion as fast as he can. Now, it's kind of hard to say if that's obviously the best strategy, considering that there's only these the Zealots here, sorry, and if the Zerglings get past, then they're going to have to run all the way back in. But we do have some sentries here, actually, which is really good. He's going to have some force fields available to put on the ramp to block out the Zerglings if they do come through. Now, we've got, I would suspect there is a Spire. There it is. Yeah, we've got a Spire on the way from FantaPrime. He's going to get that out and probably grab a whole bunch of Mutalisks, considering he's really only built these Zerglings from the start of the game to obviously provide his map control and his army there. So he hasn't really spent too much on the army forces, and he's obviously going to compensate that with some base defense here with 2 spine crawlers at the natural, and nothing else much is going to be built other than that. So as we can see, he's got he's on 600, 500 on minerals and gas. He's obviously just waiting for this Spire to pop up, which will happen in a second, and then the mutas are going to just start pumping out here. Now, as we can see, RenieHouR has actually he's grabbed a lot of units, and as we can see, he's actually, what happened, he actually cancelled his Nexus to get even more units out, but these Zerglings are going to hang around and be really annoying here in the Protoss main base. I would assume that RenieHouR is just going to warp in a bunch of Zealots to try and handle all of these, but he actually looks like he's going to commit to a really hard push here at the front of the Zerg base, but with some fantastic like a premonition, I suppose you could say, with all of these spine crawlers up from FantaPrime, the Protoss is going to have a very hard time getting through there. Now, what he's going to do, switch it up and try and go through the destructible rocks at the back here. Now, he's still sitting on one base, so this is very much an all-in play here to try and bust in and take out what he can of the Zerg base. Now, he's actually, RenieHouR has just gone all over the place with his pylons. He's got 4 pylons here and 1 up in near the destructible rocks. Some great force fields going down, blocking out these Zerglings. They are not going to get away, but of course the Protoss forces are stuck here. But we do have some Mutalisks out for FantaPrime. He's got four Mutalisks out, and he's going to try and just control the Protoss forces with that. Now, this is very dangerous moving up this ramp here, because if the Stalkers get surrounded, and it could happen. No, he's going to get in. So FantaPrime is going to have to fend off this really large force here. Some not exactly awesome force fields going down, but they did a good job. They've kept all the Stalkers alive. This is really bad position here for FantaPrime. He's only got a few Mutalisks out. Drones are coming to defend, but the drones are not going to be able to help. The drones are just going to get absolutely stomped, and everything here is just falling apart here for FantaPrime. He was in a fantastic position, but now he's got a surround up on the units, but I just don't think there's enough here to actually stop the Protoss forces, and it looks as if he's going to force them back a bit. We've obviously got a lot of roaches here, which will do a lot of damage to the Stalkers, but we've got some reinforcing Zealots coming in here from this proxy pylon, so he's probably going to have to just try and get some more low tier units just to try and handle this force that's creeping in on his base. But this is really hard to call, guys. As we can see, there's a lot of Stalkers, which are obviously going to take out the roaches, and it looks as if the stalkers are going to get they're going to take out the roaches, but they are going to be handled by these zerglings. So this is a really low-tech fight at the moment. The stalkers are going to try and take out the spire, which does go down. Broodlings come out to try and do some damage to the stalkers, and as we can see here, the RenieHouR is actually chrono boosting all of his warp gates to make sure that he can speed up the warp in process, so that he can just get everything in here, because this is, don't make no mistake guys, this is actually a massive all-in by RenieHouR. He is not even attempting to look at an expansion, and as we can see here, he's getting some force fields down on these roaches. The roach speed is actually done. We've got these spine crawlers coming up here to join the battle, and it looks like they're going to try and dig in and then help out, but there is just, because they take about 7 years to actually burrow in, there is no way they're going to get into the fight, and they get taken down, and FantaPrime leaves the game, not even a GG. That was a nice quick one there from these two players. A bit unfortunate with the base defense there. I believe that it was this the natural there from RenieHouR just sort of tried to he tried to get that up, and I think once he saw that FantaPrime had seen it, he cancelled it and then just started absolutely smashing out units. So great little game there from these two players. As I said before, make sure if you have any replays you'd like to get going here, then please send them through to my email address, which I have put in the description, and I'll certainly love to give them a go if there's some nice exciting replays. But thanks for watching guys, cheers.